Hello and welcome back to Grace.Filled Reads. I'm so excited that you decided to join me for another video. So I have had this set up for my last couple of videos, and some of you were wondering what it looked like. Some of you have been commenting on the plants and different things, and the initial intent was to release this before, but life. So I didn't get to do that. So I thought in this video, I would share with you me making over the space and showing you the absolute full room and not just the two bookshelves that you see here. So to start off with, I am transforming this, what was a spare bedroom, into an office and a library in one. And I thought that I would just bring you along and let you see the process and let you see the full view. So I'll start off with what the room looked like before, and then we'll progress all the way until my current setup, what it looks like, and I'll give you kind of a close-up of these books, and then I'll start breaking the books down into a video series all by itself, what's on my shelf. And so I'll go over all the books with you more in detail there. So to start off with, I just wanted to share with you what the current state of the room was at the time of filming. This is not what it looked like on a daily basis. However, I did receive some books. So I had some books that needed to go up. My reef was down. As you can see, my bookshelves were actually separated. There are 3 here, and there's one behind me that you cannot see. I think this was right after I took my finals, or actually, I hadn't even finished. I literally stopped school, which was crazy in itself, being a college student full time with children while being a homemaker and homeschooling. It's absolutely a lot. And that's kind of how I got where I am now. I started to feel overwhelmed and crowded in there, and it just was not a beautiful place that I envisioned and that I had in my mind that I wanted it to be. Because we do have so many children and we do have visitors, I wanted to keep that type of loft bed in there, and I thought, oh, I can just put my computer on the loft bed desk part, and then I can go ahead and I can work in here, and I can still have a library, but when people come to visit, there's a bed here, and it just seemed like such a perfect solution, except I felt like I was inside of a cubicle. That made things really hard, especially because you can see the desk in the bed. The loft bed was actually facing the wall across from the window, so it just was not getting a lot of light, and so that was just really hard for me. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do something about this. It did take time, it did take energy, it did take sacrifice and resources, but I love the space so much more, and now I can focus. Like, I could not focus to get my work done. And if you're a student, you need to be able to focus. And this video is not being, it's not about being a student. Hear me clearly. Don't click off. I'm just sharing with you that you can turn any space into a beautiful space that works for you. And if you have a room in your home that's not working the way that you want it to work, you can change it. You can move things around. You can add things to the room. You can take things from the room. You have the power to make this space whatever it is that you desire. You are the artist. The paintbrush is yours. How will you paint your room? So this is the 4th shelf that I was telling you about. And so I went to the thrift store and I got this table and I got some chairs, and I said, okay, I think I have an idea. Well, I got this pedal stool also because I noticed that I did have a little gap between my bookshelves. So I said, okay, this works. So all I simply began to do was just stick my different greenery on the top. And since filming this, I have brought more from other areas of my home in here, and I actually did purchase another one. So I do have a little bit more, but I know plants is not everyone's thing. So whatever your thing is, that's what obviously you would be adding to your space. So this is just what I did for my space, and I absolutely loved it. So once we got rid of that loft bed, I went on to Wayfair and they had a desk that was on sale, and I just grabbed the desk. I really wanted an antique like some of the other things in the room, like my chairs and like my stand, but you know what? This was okay too, and I was just absolutely loving the way things turned out. I didn't have my desk initially, so I just had that little setup that you saw, and I did not use that for long before the desk came in. But my best friend gave me this for my birthday, and I definitely had them in their pots longer than I wanted them to be, just because, again, I am a student and I do have a lot going on. So, and because when I first got them, they weren't even rooted, so they really needed to stay put. But now you can see they're kind of outgrowing the pot. So I went to Walmart. On the clearance rack, they had these pots, and I began to just transfer them. And what I did after I transferred them all, I just took them to my bathroom that gets so much natural light. And let me tell you, those things are bigger and they are thriving and they are really filling. Because you know, when you first put little plants in a pot, it looks kind of empty and bare, but they are beginning to fill up the pots, and I am loving it. Okay, so that was pretty much it for that next little portion. And that's pretty much what you guys see on the tops behind me in my videos and my photos and things when I'm not using the homeschool room in front of those bookshelves. So next up, my desk finally came in from Wayfair. And so here, my son and I are just kind of putting it together. Okay, so my son's putting it together, and I'm here just recording him because he is awesome and I love him so much. It wasn't hard to put together. Um, it was fairly easy. It was just, getting it out the box and getting the legs on it. So it was a pretty good desk overall. Hindsight, I don't like the drawer as much, and I probably need just a drop more space, but it kind of gave me the feel that I was wanting. Everything else was antique, and or should I say aged, aged finds, and I love that. I love those vintagey, aged type feels and vibes, and so that's what I was kind of going for. I would have loved to have thrifted every single thing, but some things I just couldn't find, so I did end up using Amazon for everything that was not thrifted. And this rug was included in that find. It's really hard when you're matching things online because you really don't know what things are going to look like. Like you see this picture, but we know the pictures are never what they're like in real life. But honestly, I can say that I was really satisfied with this rug. I feel like it goes perfect with my chairs, with the wooden pieces, with the greenery, with the lamp. I feel like it really, really goes. So that made me really happy. And the price point wasn't too bad. So I am just loving the way it's coming together. And I know in each clip you guys see different books, but in between all this, I'm making videos. And so those were the books that might have been stacked up for the various videos. Okay, so speaking of things that I liked and did not like from Amazon, I did not like the throws as much as I thought that I would. So that was definitely one of those things where I thought that I would like it, and when I got it, I'm like, oh boy, that was a waste of my money, and I didn't really have money to waste. So I was not as happy with the throws, to be honest. First of all, it wasn't even a throw, it was a throw cover, and I didn't look at the details. I just assumed that because it was the price was so high, the pillow was included, but it wasn't. So anyway, that's that. The curtains I have not hung up yet. I have the curtain rods. I just didn't put it up yet because I plan on painting, and I also bought some wallpaper. So I didn't want to put the curtain rods up to take them down, but I did get the chandelier up that you just saw, and I thought that I did, but I guess I didn't film us putting it together. Let me tell you what, we literally had to hang every single jewel from there, but I tell you, it was worth all of it. Like, look at this area. Oh my goodness. See, here are the pillows. They were just too big for what I wanted. I just used pillows that I already had here at the house, but I just absolutely loved the way everything turned out. It's given me the look that I was going for. I was going for something a little more like, I don't know how. Guys, help me out. Tell me in the comments, like, what would you call this room? Like, what is the vibe? What is the feel? Like, what is the era that you would consider this? And especially if I date it with some gold wallpaper and get my curtain up there. I think it's like, I wanted a Victorian. See the mirrors that I have there? I really wanted like a Victorian vibe, and I'm not 100% sure that I was able to pull it off like I wanted. But that's okay too, because I tried, I did my best, and I absolutely love it all. So, next up, I am just gonna start showing you some of my shelves, and I will come back and just break down the shelves, and just share more with you guys on what books I have, like how I organize everything on the shelves. I have had a few more books come in since this, and I did move some books from another area of my home over to this area. Some library books that I had, I returned, or just moved to another area. So yeah, some of my Bibles I took from my Bible shelf and stuck on my table by the lamps in the windows, so that I could have a little bit more space there. You guys see that I went ahead and I planted up that pot that I had. Guys, I'm so thankful that you took the time out of your busy schedule to watch and comment and give me pink hearts on my video. It means so much to me. If you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. It would mean so much to me. And if you have a comment that is nice, please go ahead and leave it below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this space. It is a small room. I have a small budget. I had a small budget, and there are still 2 more things that I am going to be doing to this space, and that is putting the curtains up. Just haven't bought the curtain rod. And I am going to be adding some gold wallpaper to the wall by the chairs. So that is the only thing that's really going to change from this video. But again, I just appreciate you guys. I hope this was encouraging for those of you who have a small bedroom, for those of you who don't have massive shelves and millions of books. So anyway, I always say here, read another book, and blessings.